All right, everybody, welcome back to the Iron Purpose podcast. I am joined by Kalli Hedlund. Kalli, how are you? Doing well, doing great. Happy to get you on here. I was trying to remember on the way home from work, I was thinking when we met, it was probably what, 2018, 2016, 17? I think it was probably 17 or 18 because I had just finished up work at Grandview. Shout out Grandview. We both have worked there too. And it was like seasonal stuff, and we were getting wrapped up. And then I was going to school at the same time. It's like, okay, well, I need a job. What do I do? And I reached out to one of my buddies, Tim Moody. I haven't seen him in a long time, but he was working at Culver's at the time. And he's like, you should come work with me. And I was like, do I want to work there? Not really. But I did anyway. Met a lot of cool people, and I think it was a really cool experience. And that's where we ended up meeting and kind of got to know each other. And it was good times. Every time I go through there, I think about like all the battles that we went through, working the drive-through, and good memories. Yeah. I
So
yeah. How long did you work there?
3 years.
Was it? Yeah, because you worked your way up to. You were a supervisor, weren't you, by the time you left?
Yeah. I ended up being the HR manager for 9 months before I left, which
Okay.
to be 18 and being an HR manager is kind of weird, but yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was interesting, but you crushed it. I mean, it's like, what else do you do in a position like that? Like, you're gonna have people that are gonna be upset with you, or like, well, how come she got it? I'm in my 40s and I'm listening to this young
Yeah.
girl. Like, did you ever face any of that kind of stuff when you were in that position
Oh, yeah.
that you can remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely faced that, and I unfortunately kind of went to like a hard place, and I was just like, oh, I'm the HR manager. I need to like lay down the rules, and like I shouldn't even be having like friends with some of these people, and be like, you go from like being friends and like being close coworkers and like hanging out outside of work, and then to be like a step above being like HR manager and being like, okay, like you guys cannot be doing that, and like laying down the rules a little bit more. It was a bit difficult, and I would definitely say I like didn't do it all correctly. So like looking back at it, I learned from my mistakes. But yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because and growing up, like my dad always said, like people should work in a customer service related job, especially fast food. And I mean,
For sure.
Is Culver's technically fast food? No, yes, they say no. I think it's wrapped up in that genre. But you learn so much of like patience and like empathy in dealing with people, and it's a lot of stuff that I think that really helped me in the career that I am now, like working in the jail. Like I'm able to have patience. You know, some old lady, yelled at us through the drive-through, and I think one time I think she got the wrong drink and threw the drink back in the window I cannot remember her name. It was just like, really, people? Like, you're just so crabby. Like, you're gonna. So dealing and like how to operate with people in that way and not let it get to me. Like, I don't know. You learn a lot. If you haven't worked in fast food or a customer service related job, I highly recommend it because you also you understand it.
Yep.
There's times where I drive into the Culver's drive-through and it's the Culver's drive-through is like extremely backed up, and you're sitting in there and you're like, all right, well, I'm hungry. I could go somewhere else, and you're like, they're probably busy. I get it. I've been there freaking out, watching all the stuff appear on the screen. Like, oh no, we're way behind. Everything's getting red. Start to panic. People are gonna get crabby.
Definitely. I remember being yelled at so many times, and just like it's usually like older people or just like random teenagers that get a little bit of money and want to waste it on fast food and ice cream. And, sorry, custard.
Custard, get it right.
Yes, custard.
Oh.
But yeah.
Do you ever go back? Do you ever go back there? When was the last time you went there?
Not really. I think maybe like a year ago. But I try to avoid it just because like I eat it so often, and like sure it's good food, but it's a little too much sometimes. So
yeah,
I might go back for like some custard every once in a while.
There you go. Do you think anybody works there that you still know?
Oh yeah. Do you remember Nick? Yeah. Nick.
Oh
Christian?
Yeah. Okay.
He works with me in the bakery now, actually. So
okay.
he worked he's thinking about like going back and like working just for the winter and stuff. And then I think like Cameron still works there. So
Oh, sure.
there's a couple people. Yeah. Good old times.
Just hop back there one day. Just be like, no, I know what I'm doing. Just let me make my own stuff. Yeah.
Might as well. I'll do it faster.
Just get a group of people. Yeah, I got it. No, I think there's something to be said about. I was thinking the other day too. Like, I really enjoy camaraderie, and nobody likes like dealing with awful stuff or awful people, but like going through a really not fun time with people and like enduring it and coming through stronger on the other side. Like that was something I think I really got from working fast food. Like it gets super busy, people are stressed out, and then you're like, "Ooh, we did it!" You're cleaning up the
really
mess, and you're there late.
Over that.
Yeah, you really do. Like we just did that
for sure, and it's just like it's nice, kind of like when you have Christian friends that work there and like kind of grow their faith together. So yeah, I really like appreciated that with you and a couple other guys that work there. So
yeah, it's good to have. It's good to have a group of people, and I think that's what kind of this podcast kind of all focuses on, and it's shaped around and it kind of built on is that iron sharpening iron, like having a community that you can have to help build each other up, and because life, we never know when that cranky customer of life is going to come rolling through and throw a wrench in your plans or your day, and it's like, okay, well, what do I got? I have my people around me that I can rely on, and the memories that I made with them, and the different resilience that we built through those times, and I can take it with me and learn into this next chapter too. So it's cool what you can learn, even if it didn't go as as you wanted to, or even if it was just a period of your time. Like we probably could have both stayed there, worked our way up, and made a career out of it. But it's like it's a stepping stone, and we learn from it. So it's cool. It's cool what you can learn from Butterburgers with cheese. The works. Funny. So what else have you been up to lately? It's the Christmas season, so I really much appreciate you taking the time to come on, because, like I said, it gets kind of difficult. People get busy, and it's like, oh man, who's gonna come on the podcast? So, what you been up to lately? What you got going on?
Definitely. And this is kind of like my slow season right now, so I'm being able to breathe, which is really nice and relaxing for me. But yeah, so just working roughly like 40 hours a week still, which is nice.
There you go.
So yeah, I'm working at Madden's right now, and they're putting on a Christmas like Santa brunch buffet tomorrow, so I'm kind of prepping up for that. Yeah, just working, trying to spend time with my family, which I was with my brother and his family tonight, doing our little Christmas dinner tonight. So yeah, just trying to enjoy this like slower season and do with friends, do with family. Yeah, work on my house as well.
Yeah. House. What kind of work you got going on with it?
So I definitely bought a fixer-upper about a year ago.
Yeah.
And it needs a lot of work. Right now it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. There's a basement downstairs that I plan to turn into like a 3rd bedroom and a 2nd bathroom down there. So slowly working on that, trying to find friends that will do work for cheap. But so yeah, if you want to come work on my house, let me know.
I'm not the guy for that.
No.
I appreciate you thinking that, but no, my it depends on what you got going on. But my brother, he's into like construction stuff. But my father-in-law, he's kind of our go-to handyman when he's available. So I can fake it. I can YouTube it and fake it, but it's rough. I try to focus on different areas. It's just not my strength. It's not my strength.
I am good at like tearing stuff down and then like just avoiding it for a while. I tore down like half of a wall or just like sheetrock and haven't looked at it for like 2 months. So
and there it is. Maybe it just needs to stay that way. It's just a new form of art. Just a broken wall.
You're so right. I like it. That's how I will pass it off when I rent it out or sell it.
Yep, that's just how it is. I liked it that way. This is a broken wall.
Modern.
Yeah. I love it. Cool. So I kind of have a couple questions based off of what you do now, but before we get into that, maybe I'll just open the the opportunity to you to kind of share your story a little bit, kind of where you came from and what you're doing now. and kind of what drove you to that. We kind of talked a little bit about your family and Culver's, and now you're at Madden's. But
Mhm.
now let's fill in the gaps a little bit, and then I'll kind of pick your brain on some of your passions and your purposes right now. So
Yeah.
let it rip.
All right. I like younger years. I started off kind of in a weird like family situation, which you and I chatted about in the past, of just like divorced family, divorced parents, and kind of like the struggles with that. Yeah, kind of growing up without a dad in the family, and kind of that's like when my passion for baking started, is in like my teenage years, and like after the whole like family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I just kind of dove into baking, and kind of it was like a stress reliever for me in a way. Um, and yeah, working at Culver's, I would like bring in treats every once in a while and that kind of thing. And then going off to college, I knew that I wanted to open a bakery eventually, kind of further down the road. So I wanted the tools to like handle that and like grow a business. I didn't think that I should have to like work in a bakery to open a bakery. Sadly mistaken on that part. But so yeah, like kind of coming back after college, after like learning the business side of things, I ended up landing a job in events actually at Grandview Lodge, and then transferring over to the bakery when the summer kind of came to an end. And just like really finding my passion and kind of like honing in on baking, and kind of over like a year span, I'd say I like grew into pastry chef at Grandview, and just learned as I went on. And like I didn't have anyone teaching me necessarily. There were some executive chefs that were like on the cooking side of the resort. They would just kind of hone in and like help me every once in a while with things, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't ever like I have a hands-on person that's teaching me, and that's not typically the case for like baking. Typically, you need like a teacher of some sort.
Right.
So yeah, I just kind of grew my passion, worked on things, tried to find any recipe, um, and yeah, and they like finally were able to like recognize me as a pastry chef there. Um, I'm really grateful for Grandview because they ended up buying me some classes, online classes, and that's how I even I grew even further from where I
Mm-hmm.
was at. I'm just extremely grateful for the opportunities that they gave me and the trust that they had in me. I was very blessed to have that opportunity, because I
Mm-hmm.
definitely would not be here, like in the area that I'm at right now, if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't for that. After that, I had an opportunity with another smaller business, and they ended up sending me to Paris for a week to Le Cordon Bleu to do like a little workshop situation.
Really?
Yeah,
What'd you think
and
of
it was like
Paris? I've never been, but I've heard a lot.
beautiful. It
Yeah.
was a really good experience. I would definitely do it again if I could, but it was kind of daunting just because like it was my first time traveling outside the US, and I was by
Mm-hmm.
myself and don't speak the language. Um, First time going on a train by myself, first time being on a train in general, or subway. Like I'm a small town girl. Like I've never been on a train
Brainer doesn't
before.
have that kind of stuff.
No,
Yeah.
for
Right.
sure. So yeah, it was a very interesting opportunity. Like it's fantastic. So yeah, all expenses paid. I'm very blessed and thankful for them that
Dang.
they sent me there. So yeah. And then shortly after that, I ended up at Madden's. It was a very interesting kind of like turn of events and how I transitioned over to Madden's. I was kind of like out of a job for about a month in between, which was stressful and rough, but I learned some things and got where I am today. And yeah, they hired me as a pastry chef, like officially. It was, yeah, it's been a great opportunity. I've learned a lot. Like I really appreciate the executive chefs that are overseeing Madden's, and yeah, I'm truly grateful for them as well. So
That's awesome. So with being a pastry chef, is there like Like, what all does that entail? Does that include like desserts and stuff like that, like cakes
Mhm.
and this and that? Or how does all that work?
Yeah.
Like, what's the
Yeah.
difference of from a pastry chef to just like a chef or like a baker, or the distinctions? And can you kind of walk
Yeah,
me through that?
for sure. Um, so I guess kind of like the overall role of it first is that I kind of have my hands in like every part of the resort, which is really cool, but also very stressful because I handle banquets, I handle like their desserts. Banquets could also have like a muffin break or like pastry morning break, that kind of thing, caramels in the morning. Or they could have a dinner in the evening, like a plated dinner of 300, 400 people. Um,
Jeez.
and that's very like time consuming to first off create the dessert and then plate it all and just like make it look presentable. So that's kind of like the banquet side of things. And then we have a
Do you
couple
get to like
restaurants.
choose what you get to choose what you want to make, or do they like say, "Hey, can you do this or that, or this is like our
Yeah,
menu," or does your imagination just get to run
yeah,
wild?
for sure. It's kind of all of the above. Um,
Yeah.
so typically in the winter time, so like right now I'm creating the menu for the summer. I'm kind of like working through, all right, what didn't work this past summer? What was so time consuming? What did work? Um, what can we change up a little bit? Or like anything that I'm like seeing on my phone from like Instagram or like Facebook that has like different desserts and like different cool things to try out. Um, so I put that menu together and I create that, and then they post it on the website. And they like hand it to all their clients that are coming in because they have people that plan things on their side of things, and then they have like our people plan things. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it typically ends up being like cheesecake or a cake of some sort for like the plated things, for like weddings and like different buffet type things. It'll be like mini cheesecakes or pies or cupcakes, that kind of thing. And then even like just wedding cakes in general, which is not as popular as like cupcakes. Like people are couples are really like going away from wedding cakes
Mm-hmm.
typically.
I've noticed
Um,
that too. Yeah.
yeah,
So
which
when Madden's has a wedding, like, are you assigned to these different weddings to make the cakes, or is it how does that
yeah,
work?
it's kind of if they choose to have me do it, great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we do we do allow couples to bring in a wedding cake if they want it. If they don't want it
Mm-hmm.
necessarily from me, just a lot of people like a specific baker and they will go to that baker like all the time. So we do allow them to bring that kind of thing in, which is
Sure.
totally fine. Less stress for me. Wedding cakes are stressful, but it's okay.
I guess.
So
Yeah. One less
yeah,
thing you have to worry about.
exactly.
Huh.
So yeah,
Sheesh.
that's kind of like the banquet world. So right now I'm just kind of like focusing on creating the menu for this next summer and getting that out to the public in a timely manner. Um, so there's that. And then, yeah, we have our restaurants, which I typically will do like a weekly cheesecake for all of them. Um, so I'm trying to be like creative in that. And then like typically we'll have two or three other dessert options like tiramisu, tres leches, any other cake of sorts. Which is really nice right now. We only have one restaurant open, so I only
Mm-hmm.
do that one, and I kind of can be as creative as I want to be with that. Um, yeah, so it's a lot of like creative freedom for me, which I love.
That's
Um,
awesome. Yeah.
I do try to like change it up, but not. I hate doing the same thing over and over again. So it's really nice to like have that creative freedom. Um, and then we also have the coffee shop, which we do little pastries, muffins, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think that's kind of like the whole
That's it.
resort.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and we also have like a breakfast buffet every single morning, which has caramel rolls and different pastries. So yeah, I have my hands like in every aspect of it.
Jeez.
It's nice.
Literally. Yeah. With
Mhm.
when so you said like I can't remember which one you said it was for, but there's like a cake of the week for the restaurant or something like that. How many do you make a day then? Like each cake that goes through there, are you personally making it, or is there like a team that kind of comes together and makes all these different things? Or
Yeah. So in the summer, I had about 4 or 5 people under me. Um, so they kind of all help in different aspects. I have one person that focuses solely on bread, and he comes in at like 4 a.m., which I hate the 4 a.m. shifts. So I'm glad that he's like willing to do that and be there.
mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, he solely focuses on bread, and he focuses on bread for like all of the restaurants, all of the banquets. Like it's a lot of bread. It's great. And then I have people that help with the different cakes that we're doing. It's really nice when we kind of all have a different like part of a cake, and it all kind of
Mm-hmm.
comes together at the
Oh,
end.
that is cool.
So I really enjoy like that part of the teamwork aspect. Um, and then it can kind of depend on like the restaurant. So like Mission Point is probably one of our busier restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that would be like 100, 150 pieces of cake per day during the summer.
Wow.
So that was really interesting. Plus like cheesecake on top of that. Um, and they also like to have a different flavor. So like Tuesday I'm doing a chocolate cake, and Wednesday I'm doing a vanilla cake. Like they want
Mm-hmm.
a variety because some families go to the same restaurant every single night and they don't want the same options. So
Right.
gotta keep it fresh for them.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I have a good team that works together. It's really nice to train them and like focus on like helping them in their careers. Yeah, I want to grow them. So it's interesting, like it's an interesting ride for them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's cool. Yeah. Has there ever been a time where you're like running out on something and you're like, quick, go to Costco and grab a cheesecake because we're run to Schaefer's. We don't have any cake left.
Thankfully not. I
Good.
have been close, not close to like running off to like other places, but typically what I do is like I will prep a ton of cheesecakes. So like cheesecakes freeze really well, and I'll like prep up 20 of them at the beginning of
Smart.
the week or the beginning of the month. I'll be like not being able to focus on that as much and focusing on other little things, and then I'm like, oh crap, I'm down to my last cheesecake. Like I can't
Mm-hmm.
have time for it to make a new one, but
Right. Sheesh. But you come through. It's cool. I guess I never thought of like the cakes. Like each person has their own little touch to like part of the masterpiece that they get to do. You don't really see that side of it, Being I can't bake or cook worth a dang. So I'm typically the guy that's eating it and enjoying it. And I guess you don't really think of that as you're taking a bite of each layer of something, like the work and the passion that actually went into it. What does it mean to you, or what does it feel like to be able to provide that? Like if you could, I mean, you said you always wanted to do baking, and there's some like possibly some emotional attachment to it from your past, which I'll kind of I have another question on that. But what is the purpose side of it feel like for when you go in your day and have a good day? Like what does a good day look like for you in that capacity?
yeah. I don't often like get to see people eat my desserts, like when I
Mm.
kind of drop it off to one of the restaurants. So when I do like hear positive feedback, like it's so amazing to like hear that. And just like usually it comes from the servers, because at the end of the night,
Mm-hmm.
if there's like extra cake, they'll kind of like snatch some, which is great.
Don't blame
But
them.
yeah. So it usually kind of comes from them, and it's so nice to like have that. And I usually get the best feedback from my executive chefs. When one of them, I have 3 executive chefs that run Maddens, and I'm like right underneath of them, so I take direction from all 3 of them.
Okay.
Um, but when one of them like takes something and like truly enjoys it, like that really warms my heart. And I
Mm-hmm.
love like constructive feedback. So if you have anything for me, I love to hear it. It's like I want to continue to grow. I know I'm not like at the top of my game yet. So
Mm-hmm.
if they have any good feedback from me, like, I'm happy to take it.
Mm-hmm.
So I
That's
don't know if
important.
that really answered the question.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, and it's cool that you are open to that feedback. 'Cause I think a lot of people nowadays they're kind of nervous about different feedback. If somebody says, "Hey, it's not good enough," sometimes people will just give up and say, "Okay, well, I'm not good enough. I don't want to do it anymore," and then they don't ever get a chance to see what their full potential is. So
Yeah.
it's cool that you take that on and you're willing to accept whatever and get right back after it. And it also sounds like when you in the previous kind of conversation we had, like when you're working with the team, like you find a lot of joy in that and helping other people that are underneath you under your direction with becoming the best versions of themselves too as cooks and as bakers or chefs. So I think that's super cool that you're able to not only take your job and do your job and take direction, but also be there for other people and give direction as well and help them in their journeys. That's super cool. So going back, like going way back, like my parents come from a divorced family, and they didn't get divorced until it was a little bit later on. But it sounds like you were pretty young when it had happened.
Yeah, I was 10 years old. So
10. Okay.
15, almost 16 years ago. So
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
Growing up, like when that had happened, like did it feel? And maybe I'm just kind of going off of how I felt when it happened. Was it like kind of like a why me? Why does it have to happen to us? Kind of.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely went through periods of that.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of growing up, I knew that my family like wasn't great. Like my parents were not great together. So
Mm-hmm.
when it did happen, I was kind of like, there's a sense of relief to it almost. Just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like it's maybe for the best. So,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of looking back at it now, like divorce, there's no, I don't know. I don't think, I think it was like a blessing in disguise, I guess. So,
Yeah. And like I believe that there is like a specific person, a specific career, like this is the one, like this is the job for me, or like this is the person for me in different points of our lives. Like if you're dating somebody, or if you're like we talked about, like even at Culver's, like this is the job, it's awesome, or maybe maybe it wasn't, but like for that period in our lives, like I feel like there are like this is how it's supposed to be, and maybe it isn't gonna last because obviously out of that relationship came you and your brother and like the lights that you're able to be to people of the community. Like I had your brother on it's been a couple months ago, and like now he's out there, rising from from the ashes of kind of a rocky past and kind of moving forward and being able to go and shine in different capacities too is it's truly inspiring. So for you to be able to kind of work your way through something like that and kind of the ups and downs and the emotions and the roller coasters of that, and you kind of talked about, and I don't know what your relationship with your parents is right now, but like you kind of talked about how you when you got into baking at Grandview at first, you didn't really have anybody showing you how to do things, so you kind of had to just learn it and figure it out for yourselves. And maybe there's periods of your life where your mom or your dad weren't there in a way that you would have hoped them to be, and you just kind of had to, I feel like you kind of took that same mentality. You kind of had to figure it out,
yeah.
and instead of giving up, like, okay, how do I move forward in this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I guess I haven't really like thought about it in that way, but yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
With like
Yeah.
not having a father in my life and kind of like figuring it out and figuring like out different kind of avenues and like different people that have poured into me that are not my father because I don't have a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like the different older like gentlemen in my life, like my friend, I have one friend that I've known her parents since I was like 5 years old, and like her dad took me under his wing a bit, and like he's a father figure to me, and he calls me daughter every once in a while. So
No.
yeah, so like kind of seeing that aspect of things for sure. Yeah, I need to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, it's like bad things are gonna happen, but it doesn't mean we have to stay there and live in that.
Yeah.
And so it's It's interesting how life works sometimes. You think, why is this happening to me? Why does this have to happen to our family? Whether you think it's a good thing or not at the time, it's not an easy thing to have to deal with, but to be able to keep going, keep learning and trying to, better yourself through it is it's inspiring. It's cool to see people so successful in what they're doing in their craft and coming from, you see people on like social media or for yourself, like you see what you're cooking and stuff. It's like, oh, Callie's doing all these great things. Look, she's so successful. She's got this, baking thing. She was on the news even. Well, we'll touch on that in a second. I want to hear your experience in that. But like people think, oh man, I wish my life was as cool as that. And when you can kind of get to the nitty gritty of somebody's story and go, oh, whoa, they went through that or they had to go through this different thing like growing up and they're able to be who they are now. Like she got to do that and this is where she came from. Like it's super cool. I'm truly inspired by that and people's stories in that way. But how, the news, how did that work out? Tell me about that before I forget about it.
Yeah, that was a very interesting experience. So Madden's every once in a while, like during the winter, they will reach out to the news outlets and just be like, hey, if you are able or willing to spotlight us for a little segment, like we'd love to do that. So I was approached by our marketing team, and she just kind of said, hey, like Thanksgiving is coming up. Is there anything that you'd be willing to kind of promote? We're also like kind of promoting the bakery and how it's open during the winter and like trying to Madden's is mostly like shut down for the winter aside for a couple banquets here and there. One of our restaurants, so it's pretty quiet. So I kind of need things to do. So we're kind of trying to like promote the bakery and like grab and go menus and that kind of thing. So she was looking at avenues to promote that basically. And she just said, is there anything that you'd be willing to bake or cook? Like, are you willing to do it? And I was like, sure, like, why not? But I've kind of heard this in the past from like past employers, and I didn't expect it to actually happen. And I was just like, that's not happening whatsoever. So I'll give you a list of like 10 different things, and it's not going to happen. And then like less than a week later, she's like, oh, how does Wednesday work for you? And I was like, sure, which was 2 days notice at that point.
Oh my goodness.
Which I'm glad that it wasn't like a longer period of time to wait for it, because I would have just like talked myself out of it. And it was like after a week of being off work, and I took a little staycation. And yeah, so I kind of freaked out for one day and then prepped for the second day and drove to the cities and did it. And it was an interesting opportunity. I don't think I smiled as much in the segment, so don't watch it, but I probably looked super cranky in it.
Too late. Already did.
I was like so stressed. So that's why I'm like trying to focus on making sure to smile during this. So
got it. No, I think you're crushing it. But which news outlet was it? Was it
WCCO.
Okay, so it was Channel 4. Okay, I couldn't remember what it was, but yeah, that's got to be kind of nerve-wracking because I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw your link. I was like, what? She's on the news? Like that's crazy. Because not only does it promote Madden's, but it also promotes you as an individual. I'm going to say artist. With the stuff you get to present. Because someday, if your goal is to continue on and maybe open up your own thing, like you kind of have that in your back pocket as your resume. Like, yeah, I got kind of attention in this capacity. People kind of got to see what I got to offer, and that's super cool. That's got to be kind of like a highlight reel. Throw that in your highlight reel of accomplishments.
Yeah, it's high up there. So along with this podcast. So yeah, no, it was a great. No, this is a great opportunity. I'm flattered. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, cool. So kind of moving forward, what are some of your goals with where you are now? Do you kind of hope to continue to work your way up and maybe become like executive chef like you were, like the people you're above, or kind of branching off, or what does that kind of look like if you're willing to chat about it?
Yeah, for sure. So there's nowhere to kind of go at, like for Madden's, there's not necessarily like an executive chef position. The executive chefs that are there, they oversee like banquets and the restaurants and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'm kind of the highest that I can go where I'm at,
Maxed out.
which is
Sure.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if like in the future I would go somewhere else. I think for where I'm at now, like I'm happy with Madden's and I'm happy like being there. I do see myself in the future owning a couple other businesses and like trying to focus on a couple different avenues. I kind of like touched on wedding planning a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'd love to open a wedding venue at some point just down the road. So I kind of have like some plans in the works, but nothing is like concrete. So in like 2 years, we can do another podcast and I can touch base on that more. But
see where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
kind of my plan. We'll see what happens. I definitely want a wedding venue, like probably closer in the cities area.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Interesting.
We'll see where that goes. But yeah,
it's
so I'm
cool.
grateful for like where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really important, and I'm glad you said that because either sometimes people are at their current position and they're just content with being right where they're at, and they want to just keep riding the wave. And there's also people that are taking on all these different projects and trying to do the best thing they can do, but they don't really have like a base where they're at. Like it's like, what all can I do at once? And it's like just go to work somewhere first, get a job, find yourself, and then build off of that. So it's cool how you have both, where you are like you're content with where you're at, you like growing where you're at, being in the position that you're at, but you're also kind of like, yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking for and reaching for because it can, because when you do have those days that aren't the greatest, you're like, all right, that's okay, but I still have this to look forward to in the future. Like this is kind of all right, but this could be cool if it worked out over here. But I still really enjoy where I'm at. So that's cool. I think it's important to have that dynamic.
I agree. Yeah, like I have a 5-year plan, and if it doesn't work out, like that's what God intended. So like, I will try to work to the best of my ability. I want to grow where I'm at, but also have a couple ventures in the future. So
Cool. A couple more questions and I'll let you go. Back when we were working at Culver's, I feel like we were both kind of in a competition to see who could get more tattoos the fastest. I'm still working on mine. We got a couple more here.
Okay.
But you have kind of gone through a different process and you kind of started removing some of those. If you don't mind kind of touching on that a little bit, maybe why you got them in the first place and then what kind of went into the decision to get them removed.
Yeah. So all of my tattoos are like Christian faith-based tattoos. A lot of them are like song lyrics or like Christian rap lyrics, I guess. I think you and I were both pretty into Christian rap back then. So just still am.
Are you still?
Once in a while.
Are you not a fan anymore?
Yeah, every once in a while. Like listen to the new NF album, so that one's pretty good.
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. I enjoy it. Yeah.
So and I kind of got them at a point in my life when I was very depressed, kind of coming off of like the whole divorce and like parents. I was very depressed as a teenager. So getting them, I was like, oh, I'm going to be rebellious. And I was like freshly 18. So it was kind of like a mix of depression, freshly 18. And they were all like meaningful to me at the time. And they still are very meaningful. One of them is the song Why by NF, which is just very like meaningful to me as a song. And then like I kind of took it as like, why am I here on earth? And it's not for myself and it's not for like other people, but it's for God. Like I'm not here any other way. Like I'm here to serve him and his purpose for my life. So it was just a reminder. It was a helpful reminder to not commit suicide. So
absolutely.
And then just like other Christian lyrics. So I am getting them removed because they are they're meaningful to me still, but they're not like as meaningful. And I've grown out of my depression state.
Mm.
And also just like realizing like that's not who I am anymore. And I don't necessarily like want them on my body for eternity, which it's a long process. And I don't recommend it for anybody that wants to get a tattoo removed. Don't do it because it's long, it's expensive, it's painful. Yeah, it hurts a lot. Don't do it.
Worse than actually getting it.
Oh yeah, it's like 10 times worse. It's I don't know if you've ever like seen those videos online, but it's just it's a laser and it shoots to the skin and it leaves like welts on you and you're like bleeding afterwards. It's
sheesh.
And I have to go all the way to Duluth to do it. So
really?
It's a long process.
Wow.
And I like started getting them removed like 2 years after I got them. So fresh ink pretty much. It's a long process.
Wow. And that's interesting, and I think that kind of wraps up like the story of kind of what we've been talking about. You know, you kind of grow up and like you touched on, you know, some of the mental health stuff that you had to battle, and I appreciate you being honest and open about that because I think it's something that people struggle with a lot more than the world kind of sees. I think people are really good at just hiding it and kind of going through the motions, and you know, like we said, like you never want to make decisions that are gonna be permanent. Or even like situations in our lives where we think like, how am I ever going to get through this? This is a permanent thing. And tattoos are a very permanent thing, but nowadays we can remove them with technology and stuff, but it's just like a phase of life. It's like a period of growth. It's like I was gonna say a worm, a caterpillar coming into the cocoon, going through that season to become like a butterfly, or like the whole iron purpose kind of thing. Like you put the iron into the fire and you gotta beat it. You gotta get it really hot, have it go through a process to be refined into this sharp tool, this weapon that can be used for good. So it's kind of cool. It's like a picture of, you know, you have the tattoos and it is now removed and you are on to the next phase of your life, and that's powerful. I think it's really empowering. Like those scars are there, but it's just proof that you're still here, you're still kicking. Yeah, that's awesome. So a question that I like to ask, and we'll wrap it up with this. All my guests that are on here, and it goes back to, again, the iron purpose and the sharpness that we have in each other. Oftentimes we are operating in a fashion where we're pouring out to other people. You know, in your job, you're pouring out, you're going in there early, you're putting things together, you're helping other people, you're making food, all this stuff, and it's continually pouring out, pouring out, pouring out. So what are some things that you do to kind of help yourself stay sharp and able to continue to pour out to other people? Like, what are some things where you can pour back into yourself to take some time to be able to continue to help others? And, you know, maybe if you don't mind even talking about like some of the mental health, like I really battled anxiety. It was a really bad thing in my life and I was able to overcome it with certain things. So what does it look like for you? Like if you kind of find yourself going into that darker place in your mind, to overcome that and get over that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. To kind of like stay sharp, I have a couple really good Christian friends that I pour into them. They pour into me when I'm not doing too hot. I have a couple friends that I just call up and like they know to answer the phone if I'm calling because I don't often call people. So yeah, just having those like really good friends that you've been friends with for years or just like a short period of time that you really trust. So I really focus on that and just trying to build up them when I have enough energy, or if my cup is full, like that I'm able to pour into them a little bit more. And they do the exact same thing to me. So they're amazing and I love them to death. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, just having those good friends that sharpen me a little bit more. And yeah, just trying to, one thing I've really been focusing on lately is like my faith and like growing in my walk with God. So I'm trying to get any little source of or like any resource that can strengthen that. Just listening to like podcasts. I've been listening to your podcast a bit more lately, which is awesome.
I
Just
appreciate
love
that.
it. Yeah. And just like a couple other Christian podcasters out there, like Josh Howerton. He's a pastor, and he leads a really good podcast as well. That just like there's a recent one that he's talking about paganism, and if Christmas is derived from paganism. So that was a really interesting podcast to listen to.
Interesting.
But yeah, just like growing in my faith and really trying to like make it my own. And that also kind of like leads into like the mental health aspect of things. And I can thankfully say that I'm not like in that state of mind anymore, and hopefully never will be again. But never say never. And I do. I recognize this. I recognize the signs when they do appear, and focusing on like how to get help when that does occur. And just like I recognize the signs. I do stuff to like help me get out of it, talking to people, being with friends, getting to the gym, reading my Bible.
All good things.
Sorry.
Absolutely. I think I picked up on another thing within all that, and it's like honesty where you're at, like being honest with yourself and not being afraid to tell your friends, hey, I'm really going through this and I'm struggling with this, or admitting that you are struggling with something, and being like even going to like the stuff as a pastry chef, like if somebody's offering you advice, like being open and like being open to receiving that, saying, okay, yeah, maybe that wasn't my best, but I'm going to try to learn ways to refine it and make it better. Like, I feel like that kind of ties in with what you're saying with there too, like having those friends that you can rely on and say, hey, I'm not doing the greatest, or being there for them in another capacity. Like it's all kind of give and take. So it's cool how that works, how you're able to be there for them and they're able to be there for you, and growth as well, being honest and saying, hey, we're not doing great right now, but it's all right. We'll get the next one, and we'll just keep going. Yep. Yeah, it's all you can do. Oh, that's awesome. I guess one other question before I let you go. What is your favorite thing to make and why?
I hate this question. Sorry. I don't hate it. For like, it's never like the same answer that I give. It's kind of like I don't have a particular cake that I like to make. It's just kind of I like anything that is creative. It's my creative outlet again is just I like anything that is difficult, that has like multiple layers to it. Things that take like 2 or 3 days to have a final product.
Wow.
Like, I just like anything more intricate. I don't like the basic cupcake anymore. So
not
sorry.
about that.
I know.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. So where can people find you? Where can people see what you got going on? And when would you recommend somebody come in to try what you're making?
So they can find me on, I have a pastry page on Instagram, which is, I need to kind of build up a little bit more, but it's called Pastry Chef Kalli. So it's on Instagram. You can follow me. And come find me at Madden's in the spring when we kind of get ramped up again. I'll be trying a lot of new desserts in the spring. So definitely come.
Sweet. Might have to do that.
For sure.
Come check it out. Come, I'll bring my friends. We'll do some taste testing. If you ever need like guinea pigs to like taste test your stuff, I could probably find a good amount of people. I am still type 1 diabetic, but I'll make sure my pump is full of insulin, and we'll crush it. It'll be great.
Perfect. Yeah, let me know if you're coming out. I'll make a special cake for you and Courtney. So.
I will remember that. Appreciate that. Well, cool. Well, Kalli, thank you so much for taking the time to come on here. It was a pleasure. It's always cool to see and hear other people's stories, but it's cool to also talk to somebody that I haven't talked to in a while. Because at the end of the day, if nobody listens to this, I got to have a cool conversation with you and kind of catch up. So it's cool to hear that you're doing well and that you're succeeding. And I think you got a lot of, you've overcome a lot and you've moved up a lot. It's gonna be cool to see your journey and see where it goes. I think the sky's the limit for you. So keep up the great work.
Thank you very much.
And yeah, and we'll have you on in 2 years to see how things are going.
Let's do it. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. This is the Iron Purpose Podcast. Stay sharp.